I think, matter of fact, I would even argue that life is more relatable to the average American in the UAE or in Dubai than it is in...
Again, but it's a disingenuous argument.
Why is it disingenuous?
Because I just told you.
You said you can't live there, and I was like, here's another place.
Because it's not typical. I said the entire Middle East. So if I, okay.
Well, that's this pretentious ass
It's
shit.
not pretentious.
You're doing the thing that
it's not pretentious.
You are doing the
that
thing
you could live in Kabul and be happy, or get by, or you could be no big deal.
You're doing this thing that gets.
It's not virtue signaling to say.
I didn't say virtue signaling, but that is, if you don't agree with me, you're dumb. Is why Trump is elected.
Yeah, that's true too.
So we can't speak down to people if we know that they're going to react emotionally. I guess what I'm trying to say is, even with the for example, the Israel conversation, right? So if I know people are reacting emotionally to this, right? Who is the burden on?
In this video, Bill Maher completely ran out of arguments against Andrew Schulz. He said things so confidently and so quickly that Andrew Schulz had to stop him mid-sentence and rebuild his entire point from scratch. And what happened next is something you almost never see on camera. One of the most experienced political minds in America had to sit back, go quiet, and admit that he was wrong. You need to watch Bill Maher's face the moment he realizes Andrew is not backing down. Don't skip a single second of this. So let's keep watching.
They're the closest ally in the Middle East because they're the only country in the entire Middle East that anyone in this country, these fucking hypocrites, would even survive for a week in. You wouldn't want to live.
I don't know if that's true anymore. Like the UAE, I've been to Abu Dhabi.
The UAE is not the Muslim world. If you're talking about
But they're
Dubai,
in the Middle East. That's what you're talking about.
Okay, but you're talking about a tiny, tiny percentage of what typical life is like in 60 Muslim countries. You're talking about a little enclave that they carved out so Westerners could come and spend their money.
Right.
We're talking about far less than 1% of the way life is like. You would not want to live even in a moderate country like Jordan. And your wife certainly wouldn't enjoy living there.
Yeah.
Okay?
You're making logical points.
Well, these are factual points.
Yeah, sure, they're factual. But,
they are.
Yeah, but it doesn't matter. It's like, I gave you another option that is true.
Well, but it's
I think, matter of fact, I would even argue that life is more relatable to the average American in the UAE or in Dubai than it is in...
Again, but it's a disingenuous argument.
Why is it disingenuous?
Because I just told you.
You said you can't live there, and I was like, here's another place.
Because it's not typical. I said the entire Middle East. So if I, so look, here, here's the thing. Here,
all right.
If I say, you have to move somewhere in America, and I'm going to throw a dart at a map with a blindfold on, and could you survive anywhere else in America where you absolutely could? You could live in Salt Lake City. You could live anywhere in America. If I throw a dart at a map of the entire, all 60 Muslim majority countries, will you say you'll live there?
I could survive in every single one of them.
You couldn't.
How no?
What?
How could I not? I'm not a gay guy. I could live in any single one of them.
In Kabul, your wife would have to wear a head-to-toe burqa every...
That's on her.
Okay.
You're talking about me surviving. You're like, I could live very comfortably in every single country. Like, again, let's not move the goalposts. You're asking if I could live comfortably.
You could live with yourself knowing that that's how women are treated in your world.
I hate this moral argument. Like, we give a fuck about women around the world. Like, no, but this is like...
Yeah, you said you'd be happy.
This is such a bullshit argument.
This is such a bullshit argument.
No, I didn't say happy. I said I could live. You keep moving the goalposts.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Let's stay on what you say. I could live easily in
Okay.
every single one of the countries outside of the wars that are existing. But you're saying in peacetime?
Easily?
Easily. You live easily.
You could easily live in Kabul, Afghanistan.
Is there war happening? Is the Taliban doing their thing?
No war. No war. So war's over.
War's over? I could kick it in Kabul for a month easy. Enjoying life. Now, am I doing stand-up every night? No. But could I take a little vacation?
I don't know if you're kidding with me.
I'm just telling you, I think that...
I'll give you two options. Either you're kidding or this is stupid.
This is the moment everything changes. Bill Maher just called Andrew Schulz stupid on live camera. Think about what just happened here. Bill Maher has been doing this for over 30 years. He has debated presidents, senators, intellectuals, and some of the smartest people on the planet. And right now, a younger guy just backed him into a corner so tight that the only move Bill had left was to call him stupid. But here's what makes Andrew Schulz different from everyone else Bill has ever debated. He did not flinch. He did not back down. He did not apologize. He turned it right back around and made Bill look like exactly the kind of person Bill always criticizes on his own show. Watch what Andrew does next, because this is where the whole conversation completely flips. Tell me in the comments, do you think Bill Maher was actually right here? Or did Andrew Schulz just expose something that nobody wants to admit?
Well, that's this pretentious ass
it's
shit.
It's not pretentious.
You're doing the thing that
it's not pretentious.
You are doing the
that
thing
you could live in Kabul and be happy, or get by, or you could be no big deal.
You're doing this thing that gets.
It's not virtue signaling to say.
I didn't say virtue signaling, but that is, if you don't agree with me, you're dumb. Is why Trump is elected, and this is what Democrats do.
Andrew Schulz just said something that most people in Hollywood and media are too scared to say out loud. He looked Bill Maher directly in the face and told him that this exact attitude, this idea that if you disagree with me, then you must be stupid, is the real reason why Democrats keep losing elections. And the most shocking part is that Bill Maher could not disagree. He literally said, yeah, that is true too. Stop and think about how rare that moment is. Bill Maher built his entire career on being the smartest person in the room, and right now a comedian with a podcast just made him admit that his own side has a problem they completely refuse to talk about. This is exactly the kind of conversation that never happens on mainstream TV. This is why millions of people are leaving cable news and coming to podcasts, because this is where the real conversations actually happen. Drop a comment and tell me, do you think the media ever actually holds their own side accountable, the way Andrew just did to Bill right here?
Yeah, but sometimes dumb is dumb.
Yeah, but people are dumb, so deal with that shit. Like, you know what I mean? Like, stop acting like everybody's smart. Like, this is the problem, is like, you have all these people that go to Ivy League schools and they're like, we know better than everybody else and we'll just tell you what to do and you guys are all stupid and I know you feel like you want this, but you don't really want this. And if you disagree with me, you're an idiot. Then all of a sudden they go, you know what? Fuck you guys. I'm voting for that one. And it's very simple.
Yeah, that's true too.
So we can't speak down to people if we know that they're going to react emotionally. I guess what I'm trying to say is, even with the for example, the Israel conversation, right? So if I know people are reacting emotionally to this, right? Who is the burden on, if we have this deep connection with Israel, which I believe we do, right? I think the burden is on Israel to prove to the American people, who definitely they rely on for support in this conflict. I think that the burden is on them to communicate to the American people why it's advantageous to America to continue to support them. Like, and if they can't communicate a reason, you can't be upset at the American people for being confused about it. We have that same energy towards Ukraine. We go, wait a minute, they're getting how many $1 billion? Okay, over here, if eggs were cheap, I don't care about where you throw the money. But once eggs get expensive, I start going, where's the money going? $200 million going over there? So when economic times are very difficult here in America, or any country in the world, there's going to be some questions asked about where this money is going.
As there should be.
As they should be. I think it's a very normal thing. And unfortunately for Jews, when economic times turn shitty in countries, people start looking and they go, I think it might be their fault.
But why is that throughout history?
Because there's an ambient energy towards Jews. This is just my opinion, but there's ambient energy towards Jews.
What a great phrase, an ambient energy. You're so right.
Because it's not a bright light bulb.
Right.
It's a small one. And it comes from the fact that, like, most people don't know Jews. They've never met a Jew. They have no fucking clue. They think Jews are like Jerry Seinfeld. They have no clue that there's Sephardic Jews. They have no clue that there's these African Jews. Like,
try being one in Kabul, Afghanistan.
It's probably difficult. So, like, they just don't understand what it is, right? They've never met one.
Right.
They only know the stereotypes. And I think they kind of almost like lock up Jews into the similar ilk as like the Rockefellers or the Vanderbilts. They think they're these elitist people. I don't think Jews even realize that. Because I think not all Jews are going, yeah, we're rich and we have all this money. They're just going, I think a lot of Jews in the Northeast are looking at the Rockefellers and the Vanderbilts going, that's some pretty cool shit. I mean, Ralph Lauren definitely was like, hey, that WASP stuff, that's pretty cool. I want to do that.
Right.
Right? There's like an envy of the WASPs in the Northeast from the Jews, I feel like, almost. I mean, I feel like they admire it. Anyway, the average person is looking at them as like these elites that they can't touch. And I think that there's like religious teachings that see like this separatism. It's like they're not trying to proselytize. Why don't they care if I go to heaven? Why? Like, my whole life is about trying to get as many people to go to heaven as I possibly can, but like they don't care. Like, what? I think it's just hard for them to get. And this ambient light that has this like kind of like these like negative stereotypes they own or control. And when the economy's good, I don't give a fuck. I don't care if you're sending US aid to do tranny plays in fucking Pakistan. I don't care. But the second I can't afford eggs, I go, no more tranny plays. And why is that group of people seem to have a lot of power?
Right.
And that light that's ambient gets bright.
That's not wrong. And you're right. I shouldn't say stupid.
Thanks, bro.
You know, I mean, you're right. I get excited sometimes, and I blame the pot. But you're right. I can think it.
Yeah, you don't say it.
I'm still thinking, but you're right. You shouldn't say, no, you're right. I shouldn't say it.
And there it is. Bill Maher said you're right 3 times in a row, 3 times to a comedian on a podcast. After calling him stupid, after saying his argument was disingenuous, after dismissing everything he said for 7 straight minutes, Bill Maher had to sit back and admit that Andrew Schulz was completely right. This is what real conversation looks like. Not 2 people screaming at each other on cable news. Not someone agreeing with everything the host says just to avoid getting canceled. 2 people actually challenging each other until the truth finally comes out. And the truth that came out today is uncomfortable for a lot of people, because Andrew did not just win a debate. He showed that the people who talk the most about being open-minded are sometimes the least open-minded people in the entire room. This clip is from the Club Random podcast, and this is exactly why people love it. Because real conversations like this still happen. If you enjoyed this video, please like it because it helps more people find this and actually think about these ideas for themselves, and subscribe to the channel because we bring you the most honest and most real moments from the biggest podcasts so you never miss a conversation worth having. Now tell me in the comments who won this debate, Bill Maher or Andrew Schulz. I already know what most of you are going to say.